Coming to this now, pop-up operations are currently underway along the Garden Route. The area saw heavy rain and flooding yesterday. The bad weather has interrupted municipal services as well as schools. So for more on this, we're now joined by Western Cape Environmental Affairs spokesperson, Mr. James-Brent Styan. Thank you for your time and good morning to you, James. What's the state of the Garden Route at this point, of course, following the numerous reports on these flash floods?
Good morning. Good to be with you. Overnight, things have changed quite dramatically, and you wouldn't have thought there was a storm, the nature of what you saw yesterday, especially in George. It's a sunny day in George. Things are getting rapidly back to normal. The drainage systems in one or two areas were challenging, which led to some of those images you saw with lots of water damming up. But it's draining away rapidly. A lot of the pre-season work in the estuaries, places like Sedgefield, Grootbrak, the rivers leading into the sea, they were opened up at the right time. So this bulk of the water that's come down has flown into the sea quite rapidly. So the situation is improving very, very quickly. It's a nice day in the Southern Cape.
Yeah. But with that being said, let's just do a bit of a roll call here, James, if we may, due to how residents have been impacted by these flash floods. How would you tally the impact of the floods on residents?
So there's been some reports of damage, and of course we're doing full damage assessments once all the water has subsided. There's still a lot of water lying around. So there's been several roads that have been quite severely damaged. That needs to get urgent attention. There's been some reports of structures collapsing, but not on a large scale. So, in fact, the bulk of the flooding was captured in two or three smallish areas, low-lying areas. The impact has been less severe than we were afraid of. On another note, a very positive note, there's been no reports of any injuries, missing people, any casualties, which is always our top priority to prevent those. So we're very grateful for that. And the other very good news is that there's two very big dams in that area. One is the Garden Route Dam, which has had its dam wall raised over the past few years by about 25%. And it's the first time now in about 5 years that this dam is overflowing. It's 100% full. So and it's an area that has traditionally had some water challenges. So at the moment we're very grateful for the rain that we've received, and that there's no real serious bad news. And we want to thank the emergency responders who did a remarkable job. Yesterday at a certain moment it was very challenging, and we had lots of valuable partners like the NSRI jumping in and helping. There were 3 or 4 rescue attempts where people were rescued from houses that were inundated with water. But at the end of the day, it's all's well that ends well at the moment.
Yeah. In terms of school, because we know that some schools had to close, will they be reopened as from today?
I don't know. Yesterday, the matriculants were allowed to go to school to ensure that their exams continued. To my knowledge, I don't see why schools won't be open, given the fact that it is a sunny day and the damage has been limited largely to certain areas. So the bulk of the school shouldn't be in those areas, and accordingly, I don't see that there would be an impact on schools today, but I don't know that for sure. Yeah. People need to check with their school.
Absolutely, and we're asking this because we know matriculants are still in the middle of their final exams there. It should be important for them to be communicated to whether they are affected in this regard. Also, I want to ask you about power outages, because we understand that there were reports that there were power outages which resulted in the closure of, obviously, the George Municipality driving license testing centre as well. So how's power looking like at the moment?
In the George area, in the Southern Cape area, I'm not aware that there's a big challenge at the moment. There might be places where there would be power outages due to power lines that might have dropped. And after a storm like this, we want to urge people to be cautious. There will still be a lot of rubble in the road, trees that have fallen over, mud in the road, big piles of water, fast-moving rivers still. So conditions are still hazardous in areas. People need to drive slowly and carefully. And if in the areas where there might be power outages, just urging patience. the municipality will be getting to them. They will be fixing that, but we're just urging some patience at the moment.
All right, James-Brent Styan, thank you so much for your time this morning and updating us on the latest coming in from, of course, the Garden Route in the Western Cape. Sounds like it's all systems going in terms of the weather, though, subsiding in those flash floods, according to James, not taking place today. But again, if you experience any municipal services being, obviously due to the floods being shortchanged at this point, exercise some patience, according to James, but also contact your closest municipality and just get some feedback on how quickly you may expect to get that matter resolved.